Welcome back to the Mindful Miles podcast. This is week 6 of training towards the Phoenix Marathon in December. I'm your host, Jason Melvin, and this week I'm going to go over the shifts that I've been going through, setting big goals, and I'm going to talk about my new recovery regimen that has really helped me lock in some more deep sleep. Also, there's been a little bit of change, a little tweak in my training that I want to talk about as well. So with that being said, let's get into this and let's break down this week of training. All right, so this week, like I said, there was a little bit of a shift. I think with starting this YouTube channel, with doing some other things in social media, the shift that I've been going through over the past week and a half has really been mental. And everyone says running and training, especially marathon training, it's like 80% mental. It's weird because the focus really wasn't on the training. The focus was on doing other things and being creative and being in my mind and imagining and coming up with a bunch of things to post and create and make these YouTube videos. And I'm learning as I go with what works and what feels right and what I need to improve upon. And I just kind of went about my daily and weekly training schedule as follows. So as of right now, it is Sunday afternoon. I'm going to go on a medium long run after I record this. But as far as training goes, it's really just been standard. I've had a little over 15 miles so far to date, but one of the little tweaks that I had this week was a hike. And it wasn't just any hike. I threw in a big hike yesterday morning. I hiked Bear Mountain in Sedona. And if you've ever hiked Bear Mountain and you're seeing this, let me know in the comments down below. It was beautiful, but it was really intensive. And what I kept coming back to during that hike was how some of my injuries that I'm dealing with right now are a result of not lifting weights and balancing my muscles. My ankles are a little bit weak, my calves are a little bit weak, my hips are a little bit weak. So instead of just powering through, I viewed the hike up Bear Mountain, which was like 2,500 feet in elevation, in just like 2.5 miles. So it's like straight up and then coming back down. I looked at that hike as a really good opportunity to work on some stabilizing muscles, and I was out there hiking for about 4 hours. So right now I'm at about 20 miles on my legs as of this week. So it was good, but I understand the balance of my body and where I'm at and just how strenuous that hike was. Again, it was only 5 miles, but my legs were gassed after it. I'm sore. I'm tired. When I go log a medium long run today, it will strictly be easy miles, zone 2. This week was really just about getting right and just kind of go through the motions physically. I just kind of want to normalize this process because it doesn't always have to be go, 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 train, train, train. Like I talked about last week, you're just going to speed right into a burnout. So that's where I'm at training wise. A bunch of easy miles. I ran 8 miles on Friday in between zone 2 and threshold pace. Majority of the run was in zone 2, but that felt good. I was really feeling good during those 8 miles. I think my final pace was like 8:50. It's right where I need to be. So there's other markers when you're training for a marathon that you can look at as wins. Like my mileage and my volume wasn't high. Did I hit a nice medium long run, 8 miles at an easy pace right where I should be? Yes. Did I go work my muscles and go climb a mountain, which builds your strength and endurance in other ways? That was basically a zone 2 heart rate day where I put 5 miles and 2,000 feet of elevation on my legs. I am going to look at this as a win because, again, your perspective shapes everything. And did I run yesterday? No. Am I going to run today? Yeah. If it doesn't feel good, I'm going to cut it early because that's a hard thing to bounce back from. And all of these things have to go into consideration. Your plan is meant to be adjusted and moved in accordance to your schedule and how your body feels. The number one workout that I wanted to share with you this week as an insight that would probably be the most value to you is my speed workout from Wednesday. I went up to the track. There were some soccer leagues there. The sun was setting. I think it was 4 1-mile repeats with a 90-second rest in between. I looked at that and I was like, whoa, mile repeats are extremely difficult. And there was supposed to be a progression. I was supposed to start at my threshold pace and then work all the way down to what Bandit calls my interval 2 pace, which is like a little bit faster than your 5K pace. So it was going to be intense, and it wasn't timed super well because I got up there, everyone was practicing, playing, and I'm ripping mile repeats, and the sun is going down and it's starting to get a little bit dark. The soccer team starts packing up and the lights don't come on. So I was bummed out. I basically got shooed out of there as they were leaving. And I was like, you know what? All right, I have a couple things I have to do for work, and then I'll finish the other 2 reps in a little bit. But being in the mindset of a speed workout, stopping, working, and then trying to get yourself back up to go run really fast, and it was like 8:30 at night at that point, I just didn't have it. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have enough rest, which leads me into what I've been doing with my recovery regimen this week after that failed workout. I was quoted in last week's podcast saying you shouldn't do a speed workout with little rest and little fuel. You have to be pumped up. You have to build yourself up, ready to go into that hard effort. Otherwise, you're not going to get much out of it. So what did I do? I got 3 hours of sleep because I was editing a YouTube the night before, and I went out and ran a speed workout the next night. Off no rest, off a full day of work. I was just worn down. And that was kind of the wake-up call, because when I went to go back for the final 2 reps, I was gassed. And I cut it short because I realized in the second half of that workout, I was not getting it done. It was just off. My body was not feeling it. I didn't have the juice and the energy to get it done. So I just cut it. Because at some point you're wearing yourself even more thin, and I was like, you know what, it's done. So leading into how I've changed my recovery regimen, this is going to be a shout out to a company that has been sending me some product off field. Their recovery products have been fantastic. I use their electrolyte drinks. And first, before you go check out off field, check out the ingredients that are in the products. They may or may not be for you, but read the ingredients. If they look good to you, then give them a try. And if you do, use code Jason and it'll save you like $5 on your first order. So what I've noticed is I use the electrolyte drink afterwards, and it really helps me recover and relax and replenish. And it's been fantastic. I love those, especially after a long run or a big effort. Those have been wonderful. So shout out to Offfield for those. But the second thing that really helped me is I've been tracking my sleep up to this point, and the 3 hours I got on whatever that was, Tuesday night, that's not going to cut it. And I haven't gotten up to 7 hours in a couple weeks, but I've used their sleep gummies before bed. Like I'll have some tea, I'll have a couple gummies, and what I've noticed is my deep sleep numbers are enhanced. It's having an impact that I'm noticing in my sleep data. That has been really good for me. And ever since that day, that failed workout, I've done more in terms of being intentional with my body based on the choices that I'm making, the sleep that I'm getting, and using the products to help supplement my recovery. I'm loving the off-field products. Use code Jason for $5 off. Lastly, just to wrap this week up, this was a weird week. It was a weird vibe. This week has been weird. I never run the first run of the week with any music. And I've noticed a trend. I've done this for like 2 to 3 weeks in a row, and it's really nice. I love that. I listened to my fall indie mix. If you haven't listened to my fall indie mix yet, by the way, it is fall. We are popping off in fall in Sedona. It is gorgeous here, and it's just another time to check in and remind all of you that all of the work that you put in this summer is now about to start paying off. It's my favorite time of year because of the foundation I build in the summer, and I run in 100-degree weather, and people are like, oh, you're so crazy. This is when it starts paying off. As the temperatures start to go down, that's how my 8-mile run felt the other day. It was only like 80 degrees outside, and I was running in zone 2 in the upper 8s. So it's good. I feel good. I wish my body was a little bit stronger. I wish I felt more solid and I didn't have these lingering injuries. But I did watch Joe Greer's series that he's doing and leading up to the New York City Marathon. He ran the Copenhagen half, but he was talking about how his leg pain and Achilles issues and everything went away when he started lifting weights. So I'm viewing my hike up Bear Mountain as my first kind of like weight training day. So I'm going to incorporate more exercises like that. We're going to be doing lunges, squats, deadlifts. It's not my favorite stuff, but he mentioned that it magically healed him. And I'm at the point where I would like to be magically healed. So we are about to speed straight into week 7. I'm about to go get this easy Sunday run in. I hope you guys have a good week. Some weeks you're going to zone out and get the miles in, and you're just not really going to know what happened. Your mind is going to be focused on something else. Maybe it's your work or your life or your kids, or things happen. Because it's not always about the running. You can just go out and kind of groove the miles, and you might have one little thing wake you up like, hey, I got to focus on my recovery. Hey, I got to focus on some weight training so that I can get some strength in my legs and my hips to finish strong. Again, this is a marathon. The mindset of a marathoner and a marathon training block is this is a long process, and you're going to learn things about yourself along the way. And I'm going to come out with supplemental YouTube videos for the rest of this period that are going to be like midweek check-ins on little mindfulness running tips. God, the lighting is terrible. We are signing out. I'm going to go get this run in, and I will see you guys next week.